Hello. So by intelligent civilization of, quote, souls, I mean civilizations of individuated, non-local, conscious, intelligent entities that are based in the dimensions of the interlife or afterlife. Each soul, by the evidence, is a holographic fragment of the original source, God, the creator of the spiritual dimensions. One hypothesis about the nature of the source, God, supported by empirical data, is based on a replicable finding that the source, God, originally responsible for the spiritual dimensions, manifests as a vast sea of light within the spiritual dimensions. Souls, including yours and mine, are formed as eggs of light or holographic fragments from that sea of light in as yet an unrevealed process. These replicable findings are that each soul is a holographic fragment of the whole of Source God. World public opinion and intelligent life in the multiverse. World public opinion is congruent with the recent science-based estimates that there are 100 billion communicating intelligent civilizations in our universe, and an even more humongous number of communicating intelligent civilizations in the multiverse. The possibility that we live in a populated cosmos is conventionally thought to be controversial and esoteric. Public opinion around the world is divided as to whether we are alone in the cosmos. The world public has been quarantined from real knowledge about the actual role of non-Earth intelligent civilizations on Earth. Instead of public education about an extraterrestrial presence and Earth's history in the galaxy, governments have knowingly fed the world public a steady diet of disinformation and brainwashing about Earth's dealings with intelligent civilizations. Ever since the 1955 U.S. Central Intelligence Agency Robertson Panel, the facts of intelligent civilizations and their visitations to Earth have been classified and off limits for civil society. Consequently, there is a divided world public opinion about the presence of extraterrestrial and hyperdimensional civilizations in Earth's environment. Nevertheless, there is a core of world public opinion and of public opinion in specific nations which accepts that humanity coexists in a cosmos populated by other intelligent civilizations. One 2013 public opinion poll of 5,886 US adult residents found, quote, that 37% affirmed a belief in the existence of extraterrestrial life, 21% denied such a belief, and 42% were uncertain, responding, "I'm not sure." A 2010 poll by the French market research company Ipsos poll of world public opinion on extraterrestrials found that, quote, 1 in 5, 20% of presumably human adults surveyed in 22 countries, representing 75% of the world's GDP, say they believe that alien beings have come down to Earth and walk amongst us in our communities, disguised as us. People in India, 45%, and China, 42%, are most likely to believe that extraterrestrials are visiting Earth. World public opinion and the spiritual dimensions. According to a 2011 Ipsos poll taken in 23 nations among 18,829 adults, quote, 1/2, 51% of global citizens definitely believe in a divine entity, end of quote, compared to 18% who don't and 17% who just aren't sure. The Ipsos poll also found, quote, similarly, half, 51%, believe in some kind of afterlife, while the remaining half believe they will either just cease to exist, 23% believe that, or simply don't know, 26% believed about a hereafter. 7% of respondents believe in reincarnation. A substantial core of world public opinion thus has a view of reality that is congruent with the prima facie replicable empirical evidence for an interlife, afterlife, for an intelligent civilization of souls, for a civilization of spiritual beings, and for a source, God or creator. In the United States of America, a December 2013 Harris poll showed that a substantial majority of Americans hold positive beliefs about the existence of God and the essentials of the spiritual dimensions, although the percentage of Americans holding these beliefs has declined somewhat in recent years. The poll finds that 70% of US adults do believe in God, but this represents a decline from previous years, when 82% expressed a belief in God in 2005, 7, and 9. Belief in the survival of the soul after death has declined from 69 to 64% in recent Harris polls. 24% of Americans believe in reincarnation. Now, that's very interesting because reincarnation is a built-in 100% finding, empirical finding of incarnating into the exopolitical dimension in the universes. That is what intelligent civilizations are. They're civilizations of souls that are incarnating into exophenotypes. And only 7% of Earth humans in the, let's say, G7 countries believe that. But 24% of Americans believe in reincarnation. So they're higher than the G7 countries at large. The Harris poll addresses generational and political divides. It says, quote, echo boomers are less likely than their counterparts in older generations to express belief in God. 64% echo boomers, 75% Gen Xers, 81% baby boomers, and 83% matures. On the other end of the generational spectrum, matures are far less likely than any other generation to express belief in ghosts. 44% of echo boomers, 46% of Gen Xers, 46% of baby boomers, and 24% of matures express belief in ghosts. Belief in witches, 27% of echo boomers, 29% of Gen Xers, 28% of baby boomers, and 18% of matures, respectively. And reincarnation, 27% of echo boomers, 25% of Gen Xers, 23% of baby boomers, and 13% of matures. Turning to the political spectrum, Democrats and independents show similar levels of belief in most of the tested concepts, with Republicans consistently more likely than either group to express belief in those concepts aligned with the Judeo-Christian belief system. Republicans are less likely than either group to express belief in Darwin's theory of evolution. So Republicans tend to be creationists, 36% Republicans, 52% of Democrats, and 51% of independents are evolutionists. So we've come to the Harris poll notes that the absolute certainty that there is a God among Americans is down from what it was 10 years ago. And so tomorrow, Friday, July 10th, we'll be exploring the change of public opinion in the United States of America as to whether there is a God. Thank you very much for your continuing interest. I know that there's a lot of interest here in the chat and in the ongoing, in the daily reading, in the daily Omniversity readings. We've been reading from the dimensional ecology of the Omniverse, the first book in the Omniverse trilogy, and you can follow these readings at omniversity.info, and you can find the Omniverse books at universebooks.com. Thank you very much.